Okay, we're looking at congruence and similarity here. So basically, congruence is the posh maths word for exactly the same. So we're looking for two shapes that are exactly the same. Now they can be turned around a bit, they can be reflected, rotated, whatever. All right, just moved about. Okay, but the lengths of all the sides are going to be the same, and therefore the angles are going to be the same. So if I look V and X, and I'm going to mark, so that's congruent with that one. Alright, so these are congruent. Alright. I can't write very well with this. Now, similar shapes are almost the same, got all the same angles, but the sides have all been enlarged by the same scale factor. Now, when I say enlarged, that could be made bigger, but it could also be made smaller if the scale factor of enlargement is a fraction. Okay, so similar shapes, well, V and X are congruent, aren't they? Could go with W. Now, that's because if you look here, this is 2 and this is 4. Okay, and there's 3 high. Okay, and this one is 6 high. Alright, so all the lengths have been doubled. That's fine. Now, this one down here is none of them. Okay, can't have that one because even though it's 6 along, okay, it's only 3 high. So it's not adding or subtracting or anything, it's always multiplying by a scale factor. Okay, so not similar. Okay, there you go. Anyway, so there you go. That's the sort of thing. So pick out congruent and similar shapes. Alright, and I should have said that these were similar. Shouldn't I? Similar. Okay, there we go. Now we're looking at this next one here. We're going to find missing lengths. We're told that, well, okay, they'd say in the question, I haven't got room unfortunately, but they'll say in the question, these two shapes are similar, calculate the missing lengths, and in this case I've added an area thing as well. Now, the thing we've got to do is look for two equivalent sides. So this side is the equivalent side to this one here, and we've got to work out whatever you multiply by, okay, to get from one to the next, you multiply all the sides by. So this one here is times 2, 5 up to 10 is times 2. I've chosen a pretty straightforward one. Often get something like 0.5 or something like that, so it could be 2.5 or it could be 1.5. That's quite a common thing. And so I'm going to do, so 9, I've got a times 2, I'm going to get 18 there. Right, now, going backwards, here it's going to be divided by 2, isn't it? Okay, so that's got to be 7.5 centimetres. I'll always assume they're not drawn to scale as well. I know it doesn't sound that, again, I didn't have the room. Okay, but however, and I'm going to do this in orange. Okay, not because area is 2 dimensions, length times width or what have you, with a rectangle if you think about it. You don't just multiply by the scale factor, you multiply by the scale factor again. So you multiply by the scale factor squared. So this one, for the area, we're going to multiply by 2 squared. Alright, so 2 squared is 4. So you're going to get 120 centimetres squared. So if the scale factor was 3, I'd multiply by 3 squared, which is 9. If the scale factor was 1.5, for example, I'd multiply by 1.5 squared, which is 2.25. But again, you get a calculator there. Right, volume, you're going to multiply by the scale factor cubed. Alright, doesn't come out often, but it could do. Alright, so just bear that in mind. Pretty straightforward, really. Pretty obvious. Congruent means exactly the same, all the angles and the sides are the same length. Similar, or similarity, means that all the angles are the same, but the sides are being enlarged by a certain scale factor.